To define the limits of stylistics, it is necessary to state what we mean under its main term, style. Good day everyone, my name is Grania V. Benecito, and together, let's learn about style, norm, and individual and functional style. So first, what is style? So this word is of Latin origin, derived from the word stylus, which meant a short, sharp stick used by the Romans for writing on wax tablets. So even in our ancestors' time, they have found ways on how to express their art, their literature through using stylus on wax tablets. Now, as the English language develops, the word style progresses as well into many complex meanings. That is why it has become a permanent source of ambiguity. So it may denote first we have the correspondence between thought and expression. It can also be an individual manner of making use of language, and the set of rules of how to write a composition. Sometimes style is associated with very simple notions like style is the man himself. We can also say that style is how a person carries himself, right? For example, we can say, "Oh, I love your style." Your fashion style is amazing, and you can never go out of style that way. Next, we have style is depth, style is deviation. Style is depth in the sense that authors have the deepest of minds, right? And what we perceive, what we can see through their masterpieces, through their literary pieces, is only a fragment of how deep their minds can be. And what we can actually witness is only what the authors permit us to see. Let's compare their minds into an iceberg, right? We can only see the surface level and what lies underneath and beneath the surface stays unknown to us. Now, style is deviation. When we say deviation, it is unconventional. So the way we express ourselves in an unconventional manner, it becomes our style. So when an idea is presented in a way that is different from the expected way, then we can say such a manner of carrying out has deviated from the norm. So it means just like defying norms. And through deviation, a poet can communicate unique experiences which he feels cannot be effectively communicated by means of the normal communicative resources of his tongue, right? So there are a lot of things that our mouth cannot say, right? And only our minds can express. So next we have, so all these definitions deal somehow with the essence of style that is summed up following observations. First we have, style is a quality of language which communicates precisely emotions or thoughts or a system of them peculiar to the author. So when an author experiences a strange phenomenon in his life, then he can actually communicate it in a qualitative language, in his own use of words, right? So next we have, a true idiosyncrasy of style is the result of an author's success in compelling language to conform to his mode of experience. So when an author successfully bridged the gap between his experiences and the language that he tries to use, then we can say that style is manifested. Next, we have, style is a contextually restricted linguistic variation. Style is a selection of non-distinctive features of language, and style is simply synonymous with forms of expression. So the most frequently met definition of style belongs to Seymour Chapman, which style is a product of individual choices and the patterns of choices among linguistic possibilities. So summing these numerous definitions up, we may single out the traits upon which most of the scholars agree. So style is a set of characteristics by which we distinguish one author from another. Let's take a look. Let's have Aesop and Edgar Allan Poe as examples. Aesop is a distinguished author and known author to children because his characters are mostly animals, like, right? And childrens love that. While Edgar Allan Poe, on the other hand, tackles and social and political issues in a dark manner. His choice of words, his themes in the story are dark as compared to Aesop, which is significantly lighter. Now, style is regarded as something that belongs exclusively to the plane of expression and not to the plane of content. Because technically, we can have the same experiences, we can have the same content. However, we cannot have the same way of expressing ourselves, right? It has to be different from the other ones. Next, we have individual style. So, individual, which means unique to anyone. Now, individual style implies the peculiarities of a writer's individual manner of using language means to achieve the effect he desires. As I said, unique way of expressing ourselves. Now, Alexander Bloch once said that the style of a writer is so closely connected to the content of his soul that the experienced eye can see soul through his style. The components of individual style are the following. We have composition of phrasal units, the way we compose or we write our phrases. It includes how we thread our words, right? Our choice of words. We also have the rhythm and melody of utterances, the rhythmic pattern that we incorporate in our write-ups, and also the system of imagery. We can have auditory, we can have visual, tactile, olfactory, and even sense of touch, right? And we also have the preference for definite stylistic devices and their correlation with neutral language media, and also the interdependence of the language means employed by the author, and this characteristic to his personages. So we have the norm. So the norm is an invariant which should embrace all variable phonemic, morphological, lexical, and syntactic patterns with their typical properties circulating in the language of a definite period of time. So norm, when you say norm, it's kind of the normal way, the regular. Like norm is a regulator that controls the set of variants. Its most characteristic and essential property is flexibility. We can have an example, formal writing as example of norms, in the sense that in formal writing it is systematic and we cannot really manifest our style, our expressions when it comes to formal writing. And about when we write formal letters, formal writing, we have a format that we need to follow. That's why it is norm. And some people think that one has to possess what is called a feeling for the language in order to be able to understand its norms and variations, but this feeling is deeply rooted to the knowledge of the unconscious of the language, laws, and history. As soon as the feeling of the norm is instilled in the mind, one begins to appreciate its talented fluctuations. So the highlight of this is that often unconscious, because in styles, in ano, in showing our styles in writing, we are often unconscious, right? Because, for example, we cannot really say that in this part I use my styles. Like we cannot be conscious through that. So that's it. So next we have functional styles. So functional style is defined as a system of interrelated language means which serves as a definite aim of communication. So from the word itself, function. So it has a purpose. It has a main. It has goals. So functional styles appear mainly in the literary standard of language as the product of its development. So these are the common or the called registers or discourse, the common examples of functional styles. So the language of Bell's letters, the language of publicistic literature, like the magazines, the books, and also we have the press media, the newsletters, the daily inquirer, like that. We also have scientific prose, which is crucial in today's world, because technology and science based news are needed. And also we have the official documents So that's it. Thank you so much for listening.